Hello there, and welcome to this math class presented to you by O3 Schools JAMB app. Now, your O3 Schools JAMB app, as we well know, is simply an application which, when installed on your phones, on your laptops, gives you access to, well, quite a lot of features. This app has many features. It has the mock exam modes. It also has the study mode, which includes your past questions, as you're aware. In terms of other features, there are the information segments, there are the educational games. There's even one which I particularly love, the question search feature, which lets you actually search for topics. You can simply go there. So let's say you've once solved a particular question and you can't quite remember the question, but remember part of it. You could just go there and search for any particular key phrase you can remember from that question, and to give you all questions. App brings out all questions which have that key phrase. So it's actually quite useful. You could actually use it to search for topics. So you could just search, say for example, state in mathematics or cells in biology. And well, questions that have that particular key phrase will all come out. So the app has many wonderful features, even within the mock exam mode, for the past questions. You can set it however you like. You could use the study mode, which actually doesn't have time. You can simply just do question and answer and see how you're doing. You could do the mock exam mode, which is timed, pretty much exactly as it will be on the day of your jam, so that you can actually practice, run the CBT through, get yourself used to working with time and working with your system before going there to write your exam on the day of jam. So the Three Schools app has a lot of things, and one very key thing about it is that this app is very flexible. Within the mock exam mode, you can answer as many subjects as you like, though as a JAMB student you should be answering four. But you could reduce them. You could decide to answer just one subject for today. Even within that particular subject, you also have liberty to pick topics. So you can pick a subject, you can pick a year. You can also decide you want to just pick topics. You want to get asked questions only from this particular topic, what you've just read. And you can do that. It will bring out all the questions it has on that topic, and you can just start answering. The Auto Schools Jam app is very useful, has a lot of features. It's just for you to get your app, and then you must activate it. Activating is very important. Without activation, you are not able to actually get the full features of the Auto Schools Jam app. You find yourself limited in a lot of these features. Once you activate, everything gets unlocked. And your activation fee costs the sum of 2,500 naira only. Very, very cheap. Once you pay this money, your app gets activated depending on the method you use. For example, when you get to the place to purchase your activation key, there are about three different options. You can pay through Google Play. You could pay with your card, which takes you're paying online. So you use Paystack. And whenever you use that method, your app gets activated for you automatically. You don't have to do any other thing. But if, on the other hand, you use the third method, which is paying through transfer, with POS or going to the bank and depositing the cash, whichever method, you then be required to simply send a picture of your receipt. Send your receipt to the phone number which you shall see on your system. Send it with any other additional information that the system tells you to send, such as your product key. Send that, and it shall be responded to with your activation key. So the Three Schools Jam app is actually very easy to use and very easy to activate. Choose the method that works best for you, and your app will be activated. And with that in mind, let's move on to this class. And we shall be studying pie charts in this class. Now, as you know, pie charts falls under statistics. And what statistics? Simply the study of a large sample and how you can group them and organize them. So pie chart is simply a very, very easy method of representing a particular group of data within a circle, or in what is known as pie form. So your pie is circular, kind of like a pizza. But any chart being formed on this circle is what is referred to as a pie chart. Now, how does a pie chart work? First of all, I have a circle, and we know the angles in a circle, angles around the point is 360 degrees. Now, this circle can again be divided into various sectors, and the angles these sectors make then determine the size of the object you are defining. Say, for example, in a class, you are looking at people's favorite subjects. So you may see this is maths, this is physics, this is government. Let's put this as geography. And let's say some prefer commerce. Well, now looking at this with our naked eye, we can easily see that those who choose government should be more, right? Yes, because the government seems to have the biggest sector in this circle. So those choosing government are more. However, in your JAMB diagrams, I would endeavor you not to always use your naked eye to assume. Instead, they use angles. So forgetting about what it looks like, check out the angle. If this angle is 120 degrees, I will consider that angles. Say here is 30 degrees, that gives us 150. Let's say here is 40 degrees. Currently, we are at 190 degrees total in the circle. Let's say here is 100 degrees. That is 290. You know what? How I'll make here 80 degrees. Because I want it to be smaller than that. So that will give me 80 plus 30 is 110 plus 220 is 230 plus 100 is 330, making this 30 degrees as well. And the reason for the addition is because the sum of the angles must equal 360 degrees. Now, because of these angles, I'm able to tell the variable, the quantity with the biggest angle actually has the highest quantity in real numbers. Because please note, the number of people we are calculating may not be up to 360 or they may be over 360, but that doesn't matter to my solving. In my solving, I'm reducing everything and compressing them into maximum angle of 360 degrees. Kind of like in percentage, especially everything, I know the maximum percentage is 100%. In this case, the maximum angle is 360 degrees. So everything gets expressed as part of this ratio. Now, how do you express them, you may ask? Well, the angle occupied in pie charts. So the angle occupied in pie chart by any variable whatsoever, and the angle is represented by theta, would be that named variable. The amount is called that amount of variable all over the total amount times 360 degrees. This is the one simple formula I will be using in this topic. Kind of like your percentage. It will be the amount you want by the total times 100%. In this case, it will be, to get the angle being represented, will be, the angle you want to get will be the amount, the number of that particular variable, how many it is. If there are 20 people, for example, 20 over the total amount, so number of people in the class, which could be anything, times 360 degrees. And that then gives you the angle that should be occupied by that particular variable. It's that simple. Pie chart is a very, very simple topic. So if you've gotten this down, all we have to do right now is open our O3 Schools JAMB app and solve a couple questions. And I would like to please note that pie chart is simply one way we have of represent the data in our statistics. So if you're representing data in statistics, pie chart is one method, but not the only method. There are others, and we shall look at them in subsequent videos. But for now, let's start off with our questions. The first one being from 2012, sorry, question 39. Now this one has a pie chart. Let's draw it. And this pie chart simply says, well, something, it looks kind of like this. You're able to see the diagram there on your screen, but let's look at it here together. These are all straight lines. Okay, so this is 90 degrees, which as you know is represented by this tiny box there. This is an angle here. This is 120 degrees, and this is 80 degrees. Now, each of these sectors in the circle are all labeled. This is excellent. This is very good. This is credit. And this is pass. Now, the question says, the grades of 36 students in a class test are shown above. How many are excellent? The total number of students is given to me. Let's just call it here. The total number is given to me as 36. There are 36 students in the class. I want to know how many of them have excellent. Well, excellent is being given by an angle, theta. And unfortunately, it doesn't appear I know that angle. That angle seems to not be known. Well, what can I do? It's actually quite simple. I tell myself, what should the sum of all these angles be? 360 degrees. Angles at a point, also note that. That means theta, which is this angle, plus, let's go clockwise. My next angle is 120, plus my next angle is 80. Then last but not least, remember this square indicates 90 degrees. And this sum must be 360. Well then, theta plus 120 plus 80 is 200, plus 90 is 290, equals 360. Then theta will be 360 minus 290, which is 70 degrees. And now once I know my angle, I remember my formula. Formula is theta equals to the, let's call this the number I want, over the total number times, not 100%, but 360 degrees. Sorry for that almost mistake. Also, theta will be 70 degrees as we've determined. We do not know what this number should be, but the total numbers we have here is 36, and this is 360 degrees. What can we do? Well, quite simply, 36 here 1, 36 here is 10. That means 70 equals to 10 times the number over 10 over 10. 0 cancels 0, indicating that the number is 7. That means 7 people get excellent, and that is my option D. So you see, this is actually very, very easy and straightforward. Pie charts are truly a very, very easy topic to handle in mathematics. So let's move on. Okay, my next question comes to me from the year 2011, and this is question 41. This one also gives me a pie chart and tells me the pie chart shows the distribution of courses offered by students. What percentage of the students offer English? What percentage offers English? So again, we have to draw our pie chart. Then if I label it, as I can see in my diagram on the screen, I know that I have economics here, and this is 120 degrees. I have maths here, and this is 140 degrees. Okay, so next up, I should be getting the space for my English and French. Looking at my diagram clearly, I should be able to realize that that place is not bent, so that was a mistake in the drawing. Rather, it is straight like this, which will indicate that this is 90 degrees. This is English. Then last but not least, this is French, and we do not know the angle. But I want to find the percentage of the students which offer English. So let's call it this angle X and say, can I find my total angle, or do I even need to? Give for the percentage that offer English. So we don't even care about the French because we're looking for English. How many students offer English? You ask yourself normally, if you want to find percentage, it should be the number over the total times 100, right? However, I don't have the number, but do I have something that expresses that number? Yes, the angle. English would be, English has an angle of 90 degrees. And normally, again, remember, percentage is the number you want over the total. In this case, my angle is 90. And what is the total angle for everything? I know altogether, my angle should be 360 degrees. And percentage means times 100. So quite simply, 0 here cancels out 0. 9 here is 1. 9 here is 4. I'm having 100 over 4, which is 25%. And looking at my question, that is option B. So you see, the methodology doesn't much differ. All we had to do here was that rather than finding the actual number, we had to express as the percentage. And a common mistake you could make in an exam is that you then waste your time finding this missing angle, which however is not needed. So don't let that happen. Simply solve for what you need. If there's something that you don't need but that is unknown, let it remain unknown and simply go for what you want to get. Okay. Next up, we are going to the year 2009. 2009, and we're going to look at question 43. And for this one, let's draw the circle as usual. Okay, we have something like this. Something looking a bit like this. I'm told that here is 100 degrees. Here has to bend just a little bit. And here is also 100 degrees. Here is X, and here is 115 degrees. We are told that this pie chart represents 400 fruits in a store. Total is 400. Now, each of these circles are different fruits. This is banana, orange, apple, and pawpaw. I want us to find how many apples there are in the store. Now, in case that if I'm solving for apples, I need to know the angle for apples. How do I do that? I simply remember that the sum of angles is always 360. So that will be 100 plus another 100 plus 115 plus x equals 360 degrees. My total angles. Add this together, that is 315 plus x equals 360. X will be 360 minus 315, which is 45 degrees. Okay, so now can I get the number of apples? Yes, my angle 45 degrees. Remember from your formula, my angle is 45 degrees. The number of apples, let's present that with A. While the total number of fruits rather, as we know, is 400, all times 360 degrees. So let's see what can happen here. So with a scale of 0, can that number cancel out here? 4 here is 9, 4 here is 10. I'm left with 45 equals to A times 9 is 9A over 10. Cross multiply. 9A times 1 is 9A. 45 times 10 is 450. So, over 9 over 9. 450 over 9 is 50, which is option B, which tells me that there are 50 apples in this store out of the 400 different fruits that are available. So you see, the method doesn't really change. Find your angle if necessary and find what you want using the formula we outlined. If the angle is not needed, proceed. All right. My next question is this time from 2008, question 41. And for this one, I'm being told that on a pie chart, there are 6 sectors of which 4 angles are 30 degrees, 45 degrees, 60 degrees, and 90 degrees. And the remaining 2 angles are in the ratio 2:1. Find the smaller angle of the remaining 2 angles. So let's see. It might be a little bit easier to visualize if we just drew it. Keeping your center points. On this picture, there are 6 sectors, of which 4 are 30 degrees. Let's create our 30 and say, okay, this is 30 degrees. Then there's 45, slightly bigger. There is 60 degrees, and there is 90. Sorry, 90 should be more like this, 90 degrees. And then there are 2 more, right? In this 2 more, then the ratio 2:1, indicating simply that one is twice the value of the other. So if this is x, the other should be 2x. This is what us to find the smaller angle of these remaining 2 angles. I want to find the smaller one, which obviously must be x. How do I do this? Very easy. Sum of angles at a point is always 360 degrees. Indicating that, let's start from here and go clockwise. Start with x. Next is 2x. Next is 30. Next is 45. Then 60. And then 90 degrees. All equal to 360 degrees. X plus 2x is 3x. 30 plus 45 is 75. 25 plus 60 is 135. Adding 90 is 225 equals 360. Next up, 3x will be 360 minus 225. 360 minus 225 is 135. And to find x over 3 over 3, x would be 135 over 3, which is 45 degrees. And that is option C. So you see, one more time, a very, very, very simple topic. I merely had to find my angle and I was good to go. Okay. Let's see what we have next. This time, we are going down to the year 2003. This will be our last question. 2003, question 41. On this one, we are being told that there are 4 sectors, of which 3 angles are, on a pie chart, there are 4 sectors. So I should be having 4 different angles. But 3 of them are 45, 90, and 135. Now, if I need 4 things, and 3 of them are 45, 90, and then 135, my 4th one can be x. And I know when I add them, since this angle in a circle, or angle at a point, must be 360. So add these together. This should give me about 270 plus x equals to 360. Collect like terms, x will be 360 minus 270, which is 90 degrees. See? So now I know the angle, the missing angle. I know the 4 angles must be 45, 90, 135, and then another 90. What does the question tell me? If the smallest sector represents 28 naira, how much is the largest sector? Where's the smallest sector? 45 degrees. Where's the largest one? 135. Tell me that if 45 degrees represents 28 naira, how much should 135 then be representing? Let's see. Using the smallest one first of all, 45 equals to the amount it represents, which you have been told is 28 naira, over the total amount which you do not know. So let's call that T times 360 degrees. Okay, let's multiply. 45 will be equals to 28 times 360. Okay, I just have to open my calculator here and do that multiplication. So in my calculator, I'm pressing 28 times 360. That is 10,080 over T. Cross multiply. This will be 45T equals 10,080 over 45 over 45, indicating that T must be 224 naira. You see, now I know the total amount, and accordingly, I can now find out how much of this amount is going to be occupied by 135 degrees, giving me that 135 will be the new amount, which I do not know. Let's call that N, over the total amount, 224 times 360 degrees. Let's multiply. That will be 360N over 224. And just like previously, I cross multiply. 360N times 1 is 360N. Then I'll be having 135 times 224, giving me 30,240. And to find N, obviously, over 360 over 360. N would be 84 naira. Which when I check my options, yes, that is option A. So I hope we get this. It is quite simple. Now, there is actually a quicker way to solve this. If I'm comparing two angles in a particular pie chart, a shorter method would be theta 1 over theta 2, which is angle 1 over angle 2, is going to be equal to the number of the first one over the number of the second. It's a very, very simple way if I'm comparing two angles and what numbers they should be having. Like in this case, rather than do all this solving to find the total first of all, and then come this way, I could just say my smallest, 45, over the biggest angle, 135, would be, how much was the smallest? N1, 28, over the new amount, which I do not know. Okay, if I cross multiply, I could just say 45 here is 1, 45 here is 3. Then I cross multiply. N2 times 1 is N2. This will be 28 times 3, which is 84 naira. So you see, I have solved all this in just this amount of space. Now, this method is only used when you are comparing two angles and what amount they should both bring out. So any method you use, you are definitely guaranteed to get the correct answer. And on that note, we've come to an end of this tutorial class on mathematics, and in particular, the topic is pie charts. So, as usual, it's time for a few questions for you to try on your own. So you can find these questions on your O3 Schools JAMB app. Okay, the year 2000, question number 44. Also from the year 1999, question number 46. The same year, 1999, question number 45. Then, the year 1998, question 47. You can also go to the year 1997, question 44. I'm taking one last one, but definitely not the least. 1995, question 46. So please do well to try and solve these questions. As usual, you can comment your answers beneath these videos and we shall do well to respond to you. Either to let you know if they are correct or to give you the step in the right direction if your answers were wrong. And on that note, I want to thank you very much for watching this video. Remember to get your O3 Schools JAMB app and activate it. Also subscribe to this channel to see more videos on different topics across the different subjects, which will help you as you prepare to take your JAMB. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Athanasius.